I don't care, he says.
Yeah.
You should know this by now.
You know what I don't like about proprietary connectors? When you have to buy replacement cables. It sucks to find replacement cables. Hi, welcome to the Pokey Factor, where we can
Other
talk
than
about
that,
matters.
proprietor.
Wow.
What cables are you looking for?
I don't even know, man. Like, I want to say it's a micro B connector, but you need to have, like, I would unplug to show you, but I don't know if that would actually screw things up as far as my
don't
headset's
do that.
concerned. What does bother me, though, is I have access to headphones that are Bluetooth, but you can plug them in directly. These are the cheaper ones. The ones I'm wearing are actually, like, they're still series. They're relative. They're inexpensive for headphones, but they're not cheap. But the cheaper of the two comes with micro B, or not micro B, sorry, micro USB-C. There we go. Standard connector that like every Android phone is using going forward, and Apple's being forced to use.
I like the fact that you called it micro USB-C.
Yeah, I still snuck a micro in there.
Yeah.
Look, when you compare it to A, it's micro. All right, it's.
You got me then.
I mean, I'm not help. Have you seen the naming conventions for the different types of USB 4 that are available right now? It's absolute dog shit.
Dear God, Joe, shut up about cables. Infinite, how's it going? What are you carrying tonight? Anyone else there? How's it going, everyone? Good
Just
Lord.
waiting for people to pile in.
If that rant about cables didn't push you forward 15 minutes to watch the rest of the video, I don't know what will. So,
so go ahead.
Jump forward now. Jump forward roughly 15 minutes. 12 minutes, because we started late and then Joe had to rant. Jesus.
Yeah.
Cheers to that. Zinks. And yes, Justin, I am living in 2003. I'm living my best life.
Is it?
Dude, it was 2003. It was everybody's best life. They just didn't know it, unfortunately.
I lived at home at the time. It was somebody else's problem.
Pardon me.
By it, do you mean you? Like you were somebody else's? Is that what you're trying to say?
The everything. All of it.
God, that is unfortunate.
It was someone else's problem. Now it's just my problem.
Yeah. It's bullshit.
Infinite's here for it. Fuck yeah, bud.
I'll kick him out of chat too.
Joe will let him back in. It's fine.
Well, yeah, I mean that's true.
I think overthrow the host.
Not sure how that works, but all right.
That's how it works.
I mean, if you guys want to run the show from your phones, then
good Lord, no. So
please stay.
Anyway, what are we all carrying? Because we got 10 minutes to go through this bullshit.
Indeed.
Let's do it.
I'm not going first.
No, I can go first. It's topical. If I can find it on my desk here, I got a picture of it up here.
Is it tropical though?
Not particularly. There's a model number. They don't name very much of this stuff. It's Rough Rider 2102. It's a small trapper. Trapper? No, this is a Stockman with 3 blade profiles on it. Why are you shaking?
We got there eventually.
What's that?
So we got there eventually.
Oh, well, you know, as you do. Nice Thin Blades VG10, and we're reviewing something that's fairly similar to it, another traditional, so I figured, well, why not break it out, carry it somewhere. I still really like this knife. I tend to like pocket clips more, but it's nice to have these every now and again.
I need to throw another traditional back in my pocket again. It's been a minute.
Yeah. The Kershaw got some pocket time.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, Paul. I'm guessing I should probably go next.
You could probably go next.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea that I go next. I think he's probably So, doing some stuff around the house this weekend, yard work, cleaning up, getting ready for all the fun summertime festivities. And finally got to christen the new smoker. Well, and by new smoker, I mean 75-year-old smoker that I cleaned and washed out and
Brand new.
scrubbed and
Very nice.
extra pieces and extra parts and got spoiled with and had its maiden voyage today on some pork tenderloin. So it's good. It's a very good. And at the same time, wait, where is it? Where is it? At the same time, yeah, I happen to be carrying a bailout. Yeah, but not just any bailout. A bailout that doesn't have a goddamn window punch on it anymore.
Hey,
Very nice.
Look at that. It also doesn't have a tomato tip.
And I'm pretty sure that knife has a name, and I'm pretty sure it's Dennis's Reground bailout.
Yeah.
It has its own account. You should repost this picture. Look at it. It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, but I don't have access to that account anymore.
Oh, did someone hack it and just try to sell people Bitcoin now?
I didn't make it, and I forgot what the password is. The password is attached to somebody else's email.
Ah, I see.
Right.
Now, what's neither here nor there? Samson Dominion Kettle Grills, which is actually Samson lined up with Weber Kettle Grills to make Weber grills. We're Canadian made. So,
Oh, very cool.
yeah, the whole roundabout whatever. Yeah, so
I'm a big fan of Canadian made.
Made in Canada.
I want to tell you, as far as holding heat goes, holy cow, you get the Weber kettles, at least the old 75-year-old one.
Does its thing pretty well, eh?
Once the temperature got there, it held for a whole long time, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was my fiance's grandfather's, and I inherited it, restored it, and we made it pretty and got it working again. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
Super happy to have a meal on it tonight.
I bet you that thing can tell some stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was a garden planter for the last half of its life, but
yeah.
I'm sure the first half of it had a whole bunch of crazy Portuguese meals grilled on it. That's for sure.
If there wasn't octopus cooked in that thing, I am upset.
Probably.
I would assume, yeah, at some point.
Good job.
Yeah, awesome. On that note, I guess it's is it my turn to go?
I think it is.
Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah.
All right. So my carry for the day is something that's new to me. Got it very recently, and it is a North Arm Skaha
Hey.
in fat carbon fiber and a MagnaCut.
So speaking of Canadian,
Indeed.
very nice. I'm happy for you.
I'm pretty. That's fair. That's fair.
No,
I mean, it's your fault.
Oh, well, it's a hell of a knife.
It really is. It is super slicey, and
yours didn't come with the blade because every time you put it up, it disappears into 2003.
It does. It's pretty great.
I'm into it.
Do one of these, Paul, for a sec.
It was a Canada legal. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, make it closer again.
I can just leave. There we go. I'm done.
That's about right.
But yeah. So yeah.
So fat carbon, you say? I didn't know that they were still doing fat carbon.
Yeah, they sure are, and cool. It is absurd how pretty this stuff is.
You say new to you.
I say new to me. I was just kind of alluding without really saying what I had. Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. I wasn't sure if this was secondhand from someone else or not, because I know they've been doing it for a little bit. Okay, that's super cool that they're continuing the fat carbon route then.
Yeah, this one arrived fresh from them on Friday.
Out of curiosity, for those watching, what's the current price point for a fat carbon? Because they don't list it on their website.
This thing with a bottle of Daiwa fishing oil and expedited shipping, which raised the price a little bit, was $430.
I was gonna say just the fat carbon fiber was an extra 110. Yeah.
Do they still offer standard CF or no?
They do. That if I'm correct, what we were talking about before, Joe, yours was a $25 upgrade?
It was something like that. Yeah, it went from No, at the time it was a $50 upgrade. Because I think when I ordered mine was $250, and then it went up to $300 for standard weave.
So standard weave is still the same price.
Okay, that's impressive, especially since they moved up to MagnaCut on. Well, that's freaking cool. Yeah.
Infinite asks if disappearing into 2003 means it's now 440C.
Nah, it'd still be S30V at that point.
Oh no, I was going to say ATS 34. Come on, it's
Come on, S30V came out in late 2001.
Yeah, I know, but it's in the dying days of the ATSs. It's good. It's good.
If this was anything but MagnaCut, I'd be like, I'm fine with all those steals. I don't care. But I do care in this situation because I'm curious.
Well,
how about batons? Yeah, me too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to take a camping with me and just drive it through.
That tip looks more narrow than mine. Interesting. I wonder if they changed the background. Maybe it's just parallax in the photo.
Could be.
Because when you're holding it, it might just be parallax. Anyway, we've dwelt long enough on your sick ass, awesome, cool as shit knife. That's seriously, that is awesome.
The action on these things is absurd. They're
quite nice.
Yeah,
they're great if you like flippers, which I do.
And I don't know if we'll be able to see it. Probably not, blurry, but little Canadian flag that hides when you open the knife.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah.
Did you put your pocket clip on it
yet? No.
Okay.
That still makes me nervous.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. What Joe's alluding to there, the pocket clip, I might try and swap it for the Rips Garage Tech if it'll fit. But that screw is the only screw that's holding the lock bar in this knife as well. So in theory, if you undo it, you might mess up your lockup.
Yeah, they even tell you in their care and maintenance section on their website, they're like, if you choose to do this, just don't. But if you have to, be super careful, basically. Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of lining things up and looking and stuff like that long before I actually put screwdriver to screw bolt.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, after we all baton with it in the woods, you won't have to worry about it because that screw will be gone.
Lockup? What lockup?
Oh.
It's now a friction folder. Just tighten the pivot. It's fine.
Oh, Christ.
Well, I'm not going to contact them at that point. You've had it a week. What did you do?
Yeah. Is the knife going to come out camping, or are you just going to remove that from the equation altogether?
Oh, well, we're not batoning with it, but it's probably going to get some pictures of it in the woods. I'm going to go see if I can lose it in the woods.
I was going to say, this is a knife where you need an actual lanyard through the lanyard hole tied off to your belt loop so you don't lose the fucking thing.
No, because then I'll take it off to take a picture and assume I'm fine because it's on a lanyard.
Yeah, that trucks.
I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure that Paul's just going to lose his pants in the woods. Still attached to the knife. In the middle of...
Look, all things are possible through God, okay?
As long as you keep trusting him, you'll be okay.
What's that mean? So wait until God hears about this.
Indeed.
So bad. All right. Okay,
all right, gentlemen.
It's 7:30. We've dwelled long enough on what is truly a fantastic piece of Canadian manufacturing, but now
on to greener pastures.
Yeah, well, Paul, that's your cue.
I'll just leave. I'm sorry.
No, but keep the camera going. We need that picture. It's very important for the ambiance.
I'll just leave my apartment. It's whatever.
I'll start walking over that hill behind you.
On possibly
only if somebody plays the Hulk theme.
No. We're gonna talk about Rough Riders now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Save me from myself.
We are going to talk about Rough Riders. We're going to try to get a little bit of a shortcut thing going on here.
Yeah. We can try that.
That's what they all say, right? So,
yeah.
we want to hit the hammer on that, I guess.
Yeah. Sure. Whenever you start, whenever we start talking specs, I'll hit that timer and we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Fair. That's fair. We got to throw one more up. All right. Ready to go. So this is the Rough Ryder Apta Modern Slipjoint series. They are folding knife series, one with micarta, one with red aluminum. Blades, both 2.75 made out of VG10, 6.5 overall for both as well. 0.1 overall blade stock thickness. Slight discrepancy on weight. It says 5.12 is probably the stainless steel with micarta. 4.16 is the aluminum. Smoky Mountain, I don't think is accurate for those, so I outsourced for other things. My personal take on these, what's super cool, price point obviously comes into play, but also the fact that it comes with like Torx, extra screws, little pouch, badass for the price. Super cool.
Absolutely. I really like the fact that it comes with like modern materials, but with that traditional look. So good combination.
For sure. And that's about all we had time for. So we can make that into. I like that they're super lightweight and that they're comfy in the pocket and in the hand. This is a good execution of a traditional form factor, if not the materials.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So why these two? Because these are the two we brought in. Is the short answer to that. But there's enough different between the two that I think we can compare and contrast them throughout the review. Dennis talked about the pouch and the extra little hardware it comes with. I completely neglected to grab photos of that. But it is a nice touch to see, and it's not something that's very common. You don't often get disassembly tools with your knife. Usually that's like very high-end companies will do that, like think Herman knives, I think Chris Reeves knives still comes with them.
Yeah.
And an extra set of body screws, actually, as well. Not
Absolutely,
pivot.
yeah.
Really?
If you lose pivot, you're up shit creek. But I mean, stop losing pivot screws. You bunch of animals, heathens, I tell you. But if you happen to lose a body screw somewhere along the way, because you're batoning with
How to do it with that?
On that note, it is interesting that they give you extra screws for these guys. Because a slip joint, unlike a lot of other patterns of knives out there, throughout its entire actuation, all screws are always under tension. Because the body screw is holding the spring in place, and the pivot is holding the blade in place, and the spring wants to press against the spine of the tang, so it's always wedged. It shouldn't just come apart, at least as easily. So it's cool that they're there, but I don't know how likely it is people are going to need them.
well, share the love, man. Share the love.
Yeah, but it is good to see, and this is a trend that I hope continues to be seen, because there are a couple other companies that just ship you spare stuff. I think it was Kaiser who came out with a couple versions of access locks, and they would give you spare springs.
When they first released the drop bear as well as the one that I like. Don't remember the name of that one. It's nice. Like so it's nicer. It's nicer than the drop bear. But the drop bear was the first one, and then they came out with a nicer one. But yeah.
I thought they gave you spares because they were different tensions.
No, the tension is set by putting the spring into a different hole, I thought.
I'm pretty sure it's both.
Was it both? Okay.
I think they give you two sets, and the second set is slightly stronger or weaker.
I mean, you know what? One thing that they didn't come with was some Rough Ryder Slipjoints.
As we're talking,
it's still cut out.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Stream should be back up in a second here. It says it's live again.
Neat.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the heck happened. It was something on my end, so everything went down temporarily there.
Mainly blaming you for being off track, but you know what's new. Yeah.
As long
that's
as
why it shut down. Stay on course, and then we won't have an issue. You son of a bitch! The
man was coming to get you.
the man is coming to get you.
Yeah. You see how I changed my wording because the other
Yeah,
wording was
yeah.
that word?
Well, some of us heard it the first time around.
Yeah.
So anyway, on that note,
Yeah. Well, the question I was pondering as far as that screw and tool combination, I wonder if they used that screw because they were able to source that tool screw combo like pre-assembled, and it was just like,
oh
we'll just bring that in.
yeah, no, probably. Not this isn't really intended to be so much a self plug, but that's totally what I did for mine. When I bought my hardware for my friction folders, I from the same source bought the key tools that fit this. Partially because it's like, oh, that's a T15. I don't know how many people are gonna have one of those kicking around. But that is absolutely an option from a lot of screw manufacturers that I found. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case here. I doubt that Rough Rider's making the tools themselves, not at this price point. But.
Well, and nothing else from Rough Rider really jumps out as torque screw construction, right? So
yeah,
I dabbled on it quickly on the weight, and maybe that slowed us down for the 1 minute little jab there. But on Smoky Mountain Knife Works specs, they don't actually have the weights in the specifications down below. They're in the descriptions, but the descriptions look very cut and paste to the point where I started to look up the copper, the brass, the whatever. Nothing stands out as weight. The titanium one's supposed to weigh the same amount as the brass one does with the cleaver blade. I'm like, I don't think that's probably a thing.
And as far as the blade stock thickness, what did you say it was?
0.1, a tenth of an inch. For both. No.
That's not right. I don't think that's right.
Well, do better and get your homework done so you know shit. Because all I know is what of the homework I did.
That's fair. I was comparing it actually to spoiler, one of our size comparisons for later. This little old timer here. This has thinner blade stock. And I don't think this is just about 3 mil, I think.
Maybe they're measuring from the swedge. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, that is entirely possible.
That's the behind the edge thickness.
Either way, I don't know that I would trust Smoky Mountain's numbers on this particular model.
Well, okay, so here's where the information that I did get was from White Mountain Knives. So I mean, let's go from one source to another that's reputable, reliable, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So right. I mean, yeah, White Mountain is pretty good for what they do, but they don't even have weights, period. Or not weights, sorry, stock thicknesses. They do have weights that I thought were more accurate on their weights because they did call out the brass one as being 7.04 rather than 5 point something. So 5 point, yeah.
It's a 110.
Yeah, so that's where I got the 4.16 for the red aluminum and 5.12 for the micarta stainless steel.
Okay, fair enough.
I still think there's some variations there. I don't know if that's 100% accurate or not, but
this is 2.5 millimeters, by the way. So this is 0.1.
Stockeroonies.
Yeah, the Rough Riders are definitely thicker, closer to 3. About 1/8 of an inch.
Is that thicker or thinner than this?
Thicker.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the Skaha is also 0.1, I think.
Cool.
Yes, it is.
So, anyway, yeah, they've got some questionable. But what they do have is the same blade lengths and the same overall handle lengths. Now, I believe that's actually true.
I believe so, yeah.
Looks pretty damn accurate here.
I've got a bunch of photos. Where did the file?
There's an irrelevant size comparison.
Exactly.
I didn't do any more relevant ones, Joe. Sorry.
Oh,
the buck that you requested and all the other things that I said that I was going to do, I did not do.
That's okay. I got a handful, but they're not exactly relevant to these. But they are what I had on hand. But there's a dragonfly. So there.
Now, yeah, that gives you some sort of idea. It's slightly larger than a dragonfly. And honestly, with the finger choil on a dragonfly, probably handle grip is almost the same if you're counting choily roonies.
I
I
will
was going
say
to say that.
the red aluminum looks bigger than the micarta in this photo. That's just because of the angle. They are actually like the handles, especially, are identical.
Identical. Yeah. So what
So
happens
yeah,
when you take pictures in this orientation? It's a fact of life.
and
Yeah.
then especially when you're trying to minimize reflections on blades and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Yeah. I do have some in-hand pictures which are separate, so I mean that's a little bit easier because I don't have to.
So here's the red one first.
And you know how I was talking about open hand, closed hand, depending on how long it is? Well, because they're the same handle length, I actually gave you a little bit of both on this one. So with the red one, you do get the closed hand. Yeah, I can still get a pinky on it. And Warren Cliffy, you get the little open hand, but it fills out pretty good. You can see, from one picture to another, not too shabby.
It's a decent size.
Absolutely.
So, kind of the big attraction for this series, the Apta series, is the same reason why we were initially interested in these guys. Aluminum, VG10, relatively aggressive price points. I love to see VG10 in traditionals. I think that's a great place for that steel. Especially in a slip joint, something where you're not going to just beat the ever-loving hell out of it. I mean, you could, but it's a slip joint. You don't want to risk it closing on your fingies.
But the problem is that a lot of the Japanese-made traditionals with VG10 are now getting into a price point that's 3, 4, 5 times what you're working with some of this particular Apta series, right? So,
yeah,
Moki knives and Elmar and some other of those classic Japanese Makusta.
This is true. Yeah. I haven't tested the Rockwell hardness on the Apta series like I have on this guy, but if this is anything to go by, around 60, a little bit higher than 60, it's reasonable.
What was your hardness on the North Arms there, Paul?
For the 62.
62? Oh, okay. So if you whack those two blades together, there should be a significantly larger dent on the VG10 than there should be on your MagnaCut, right?
Why are you hurting me like this?
Okay, before we make Paul cry, we gotta go on.
It's what I do.
I'm gonna throw up Dennis's nice photo here just because I like the way the blades are interposed.
I just have to point out the fact that VG10 that you're talking about in your little Stockman is harder than a Spyderco's VG10.
On some models. Some models. I've been impressed with the other models I've tested, but anyway, my Delta is a little soft. There's always going to be some variance when you're vacuum tempering steel and billets together. That reminds me, I gotta go digging for a photo later.
Actually, took this particular picture basically to remind myself to talk about the good walk and talk on these sons of bitches. Because it's half open.
It's nice. He's setting up segues. I like it.
Yeah.
They and the other example that I told Joe that I was going to take a picture of that I totally did not take a picture of in size comparison was also a propper.
Yeah, that
also to show off this propper because damn son, but also because it's probably really close to these guys as far as blade and handle overall.
Yeah, they're very similar. Like if you hold it in your hand again, I'll have a shot of this the Rough Rider in your hand as well. Yeah, like finger spacing is very, very similar.
They're in the sweet spot as far as traditionals, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
No, the other thing is, as far as action goes, the Rough Riders are cleaner than the propper is, and I think I've tweaked the propper unit. I made a file to ground or something to actually make it better.
Actually,
yeah, you
I don't
remember. Talk about polishing it up a little bit.
But no, I think I even ground more acute to give it a little better, something, because it didn't have very good. Yeah, more flatty, good times to walk and then to talk.
I actually did remember to grab a photo. Oh, I think with my Carta one was slightly off compared to the aluminum, but I think that's just a tolerance thing. but the springs are roughly flush in all three positions. I will say that for the micarta version here, when it's open and closed all the way, it's basically perfectly flush. It's a little bit proud the way it's sitting now in the half stop position, which means theoretically you could take a little file in there and just clean her up and repolish it, and you could get it to be flush if you were that anal about a sub $50, sub $40.
Look,
Yeah,
if they didn't want me to do that, why would they use Torx?
yeah, exactly.
Because
but-
they bought them all at the same place, Paul. We went over this already.
But the walk and talk is fantastic. It's actually it's very satisfying.
And the fact that in all three positions, like I thought about getting a picture with the lock bar actually exposed, and it was too tricky to kind of get it to sit because it did want to rock forward or back, to the point where I was like, man, it's not that important. But the fact that, yeah, it was actually tricky to get that because it wanted to shift into another size comparison that I should have done, because we've talked about it for a long time and it faded into the woodwork, was the Manly Knives Wasp.
Yeah.
And as soon as I thought about the walk and talk action-y thing, I was like, the Manly Knife Wasp probably should have come into play into this conversation, but it didn't because I'm an asshole.
Well, I also have one of those, and I also forgot. So
you guys are assholes. But I'm gonna rapid fire some other size comparisons up just because I have them here and we're kind of talking about walk and talk now. This is one with the Stockman, right? The Stockman in between. Actually, overall length is pretty similar. Cutting edge length is very similar. It's a little bit more slight, at least for the big blade. But the overall length is the thing I was most interested in with these guys. This is that old timer I was showing before.
Dabble on just the Rough Rider aluminum for a minute,
yeah.
Because you were talking about, excited with those ones. I was excited, and then I saw them and I was like, the blue and the black aluminum is just a little too sleek. It's a little, like, I got some modern traditionals. I got a Lion Steel round head and whatever, and there was just something like not traditional enough with those blue and black handles that I was like, it doesn't do it for me. I like them, and the price point of what they are is like, I couldn't question it. But they actually faded until they started to come back out with their carbon steel series with the micartas and the T10s and the whatever that really started, and then more traditional patterns that caught my eye.
And the red in particular is
and then hot. Bring us back full circle to some VG10 that I'm like, hey, I can get behind that. And even the red aluminum one, not bad. Like, I would take that over a Swiss Army knife any freaking day in the week. Yeah.
Did it just zoom right past me that these are VG10?
Yeah, get with the times, dude.
Yeah, dude, they're VG10. We talked about
we're over half an hour into this.
we talked about that several times. All right.
Yeah.
So you should have known that coming into the review. I'm shocked.
Yep.
Shocked that. Anyway, we'll talk about that
Just
later.
A quick shout out to Levy, Hangslong, and chat. Hello, what are you carrying tonight?
God. Oh wow. Okay.
So,
but yes, I agree. The red makes more sense. A lot of the other handle materials make more sense, I think, for the traditional. The micarta is nice.
Well, and even with micarta with VG10 is going to come home with me now that I know these.
Yeah, well, and a little more expensive, but not that much more expensive compared to their carbon steel stuff, right? And they do also make a copper, a brass, and a titanium with some reverse tanto and some cleavery good times as far as the selection. Also, we tried to get in and we couldn't. Hopefully we can get it soon, but they did actually release, I think it was the cleaver with a pre-shipped wrecked copper.
Ooh.
Yeah, if you go to
All
Smoky Mountain and just hit Apta, just hit in the word Apta, because there's only like 7 of them. And I think one is still a pre-order. The shipwrecky one is still a pre-order.
Do they call it shipwreck?
I think they say something shipwreck.
Yep. Yeah, they sure do. Shipwreck. Oh, fuck. That's
so
cool.
I tried to get it on this last batch, and we'd probably be talking about that if I could have got it. Oh, and it's not the cleaver, it's the reverse tanto. Son of a bitch. I'm gonna walk home with that one.
Okay, but now it's a Smoky Mountain custom. So what does that mean? Are they gonna let us bring it in, or are they gonna be shitty about it?
I don't know.
Guess we find out.
Well, that's cool as hell. That is a super shallow grind, though. Hey, like that primary bevel is. It's
What's
just.
the blade?
Don't worry, it's only 0.1 thick.
Just
Yeah,
look,
okay.
just standing grind it and be done with it.
No, it might actually be Scandi ground. Like I was looking at the edge here. We're getting so far off track.
I can
I'm
do
here
that.
for it.
I can do that.
Oh yeah,
So
no, there is a grind. Okay, yeah.
we were
That's
talking
cool, though.
about walk and talk and how these guys have some pretty good action. I'm going to circle back to that a little
They
bit
do,
because we
yes.
can talk about that, get on that. So one of the reasons they might have some pretty good action and some pretty good walk and talk, and also one of the reasons why all the screws and the hardware and everything might all come with the knife. Pretty sure the back springs are the same. Back springs across the board. The handles are all that identical. There is actually a video out of a guy doing a blade swap on some of these. And
Alright.
to the point where the stop pins, the lock bars, everything about it seems to be swapperoonie, very flush, which led me to believe that all of these lock bars are the same, which means all the action is the same as far as the walk and talk. And that's why when you open both of them, you're like, wow, they both feel very similar.
It's because the
In a
tuning
good way.
setup has been optimized for the entire lineup.
It's already done. It's already done.
That's
The entire series is just cut and paste.
that's kind of cool. It's kind of really fucking cool, man. That's awesome.
So yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they
That
do a
little
pretty good
nugget
job.
for you sons of bitches. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna buy 2 and blade swap them because I can.
I hope I'm like wrong about the ones that you pick because I'm an asshole and I haven't picked on you enough tonight.
I see how it is.
I don't know. He didn't blade swap.
Swipperoonies.
Yeah, he didn't blade swipper. All of them.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's a universal thing, but it led me to believe because all the handle specs and the blade specs are all the same that it's probably a thing.
Did he blade swap like say copper or brass and the micarta by any chance? He did?
Micarta one?
Yeah.
No, he didn't do the Micarta one.
Meh.
So
I
it
imagine
would be
the profiles are damn near identical, though. Like,
We're gonna find out.
oh,
but he did the Alox one, he did the titanium, and did the copper. Yeah. There's
so
some things.
while I'm thinking about it, there is one very slight potential downside to having the tang alignment being exactly the same across all of them, having the springs being exactly the same. You run into really niche problems, such as your tip placements when the knife is closed. This is a better photo for that. So this is the micarta worn clippy dude, and you can see the tip is actually fairly deep into the pocket of the handle there. It's nicely buried. You're not going to run your finger into it. I'm not saying you're going to run your finger into this, the drop point, but if you sharpen this knife 3 times, that tip is going to be above the handle line.
Well, that's
Does it
why
have
you've
a
got
sticker?
screwed construction, is so you can grind down the half stop
kick?
point. Yeah, the
kick?
kick. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the term I'm thinking of.
This
Yeah.
thing, we're
That
right
thing.
here. Which
Yeah,
I
exactly.
I need to do that on this knife because it is also very close. Yeah, so
But it's not
potential
screwed
very-
construction. Come on. It's,
Oh, dude, I'm not. That's why I haven't done it yet. Because I'm like, oh, motherfucker, I gotta get right up onto a grinder with this thing. It's gonna be super uncomfortable.
or a file.
File.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience for that shit, man. Like I have limited quantities of patience that I choose to use on other things, not this.
That's fair.
That's probably a more accurate way to put it. So again, this isn't really a safety issue right now, but in several sharpenings time, yeah, you might think about grinding down the kick a little bit. But
Yeah.
like Dennis was saying, Torx Construction, they give you the tools to take it apart, and it's a slip joint. It's one of the more simple things to take apart and put back together. Yeah, why not?
Super easy. Like a very, very 2-screw, one side pops off.
Which means these knives
Yeah.
are also fucking ready for modification. So if you decide, hey, you know, I want to try my hand at making some custom handle scales, this is a wonderful platform to start this with, especially the micarta option, because you do have these bolsters that kind of support everything else, and the onlay material could just go right there, and you can cut it super flush. You can take your time with it. It's very nice, very, very nice to see.
So when it comes to grinding down kicks and having that blade seat a little bit lower in the handle, that'll chop your lanyard off on this particular model. That's
I was gonna say
Not this one. This one, the tip is actually a little bit behind where the lanyard passes.
Well, I was just gonna start burning Black Frost on shit, and then you ruined everything, Joe. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
Well, I do say this because obviously it'd be a shitty place to put a lanyard hole because you'd be chopping it with a Wardcliff every single time from the very beginning. But you don't. It's really, really close, and I actually kind of hate that lanyard hole position. But you're not going to cut the lanyard. At the shop, we have our price tags. Actually.
I'll cut the lanyard.
See, but I've nearly cut the price tag a few different times
Yep.
because it tends to float in front of where the blade goes, and I can only imagine a lanyard would do the exact same thing.
Yeah, don't be that guy. No lanyards. Stop it.
Yeah,
Get
this
some
is a... Yeah.
Apparently somebody at Valley Comp at Blade Show stabbed themselves in the back trying to catch a knife behind their back. CPM
That
just
sucks.
said that. That's kind of hilarious. I hope they're okay.
Mm-hmm. That's why back sheaths don't work.
Yep.
If you're flipping for competition, why would you do it with a sharpened blade? I don't know.
That's the
For the
rules.
likes.
For street cred?
Because
Yeah.
that's the rules.
Because they inspect you for blood after, and if they find any, you're disqualified? Is that how that works?
I hope so, actually.
That's rather grim. Let's keep talking about these
Yeah, so Apta series, you say. It's,
Yeah. I got a couple other size comparisons. This is the old timer. This is actually, it's pretty much a 1-to-1. So they're doing really good as far as keeping that sort of what would you call this jackknife kind of single bladed pattern? It's not a Barlow. I don't know what you would call this, but anyway.
They would call it a...
Yeah. It could be a Barlow. Some guys would.
A
Normally they're elongated, but I think
modern slip joint.
We're gonna kick Dennis from this.
Yeah, go on.
Also, this is a more modern size comparison, but I was just surprised at how similar they are. The 662B from Rook, oddly enough, is very similar in overall size and shape, but it's a liner lock, not a slip joint. And another one, just because it's super weird, and it kind of made me chuckle a little bit. The Cormorant is actually really similar, just slightly larger. So.
What? Go away.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Okay,
All
but
right.
and this one I actually had a purpose behind it, aside from just being a smartass. So the Cormorant, it really is like maybe not quite a half-inch longer on the handle when this thing is closed. This is too big of a knife that I don't normally toss slip joints this size in my back pocket. Something this size though, totally okay with it, not a problem. And it's such a small difference in overall length. But for whatever reason, this is the size of knife where it's like, yes, I'm maximizing the amount of blade I'm getting, and it's still comfortable to just loosely carry in a pocket. Because I hate that feeling of you take a knife like this, it goes to the bottom of your pocket and then it turns sideways. And every step you take, it just feels super uncomfortable. I hate it. The Apta series, I think, falls into this category where it's no, that's the right size, it's the right shape, it's rounded, toss it in, forget about it. It's there when you need it.
I think you're right there. Like I said, it's right in that sweet spot as far as traditionals.
Yes.
I'll say that word correctly this time. And how else are you going to carry it? Like that's probably the way most people are going to just drop it in their pocket, right?
Some guy's going to attach a lanyard to it, toss it on a carabiner, and then it's going to be right in from the belt loop. It's going to be awful. Yeah, that face is the correct reaction.
It's a Boy Scout's knife. It's a modern Boy Scout's knife.
Yeah, we need to attach a bail to it. Fantastic.
Those modern Boy Scouts have wax mustaches. Let me tell you, it's
probably true.
I'm not going to dig any deeper.
CPM's giving away spoilers for the Blade show that happened this weekend. I'm pretty sure we were going to talk about that next weekend. I don't think that we're going to talk about that tonight. Are we?
I don't know enough about it tonight.
No, me neither.
Can you put the picture of your comparison between these and the Stockman that you have? Your blue and black guy?
Yes. Right there.
just a small thing, but this style of nail nick on the Apta series,
Yes.
I like a lot more than the nail nick with match strike.
Yes. I actually took a close up of those because why not? Yeah, so they basically just stuck an end mill in it, did a slot, and I kind
Yeah.
of dig it. It offers enough meaningful traction. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's gonna catch crap in it like crazy though, and because it's
for your modern Boy Scout.
for all the cheese you're gonna be cutting, the cheese is just gonna build up in the crevice. So something I've done to clean commonly
Crevice cheese.
something I've done in the
cheese
past
is going to build up in the crevice.
Okay, well, I didn't mean it like that, but you know, go ahead.
Go on.
Go ahead. Go off. What is it? Go off, King. There we go. So, the one thing I've actually had to do in the past for cleaning nail nicks like this, and this is a pro tip for all you guys out there. You know, Swiss Army knife toothpick actually works great for cleaning crap out of small corners like that. Just don't pick your teeth with it afterwards, because that's nasty.
Thank you. Yeah. That's
Just.
I'm glad that you finished with that.
Yeah,
you could just use a normal toothpick too. That would
could.
also
The
probably
disposable
work.
kind?
But if you're who carries just regular toothpicks out and about with them? Come on.
Razor
guess-
Ramon?
I guess you could find a stick.
Who
and then-
has to clean their nail nick right this goddamn second?
Yeah, but
Look,
you know,
I've
you're
got
sitting
cheese in my
around.
crevice. All right.
You're sitting around waiting at the bank or for a bus or something, and you looked at you're fumbling with
Look.
your knife, you're playing with it, you look at it, and you're like, oh man, that nail nick is looking real crappy right now. But you know what? I got a toothpick.
I got
First
time.
of all, put your knife away at the bank. Second of all, don't clean cheese out of your knife in the bank. Nobody wants that there. Like
Right into
trimming
the
your
bag.
nails on the bus.
So you're
It's
you're
not right.
You're flicking it into the teller's mouth. All right, you just
I was gonna say that's right before you have the bag that has mostly quarters that you hand to them.
You're just an
There's-
asshole from the beginning of that.
There's
What
other things in there.
It
Not
started,
all quarters.
but it was mostly quarters.
It was mostly quarters.
That's
I
rude. I love it.
hate everything. Just everything.
Oh yeah. No.
Not these knives though.
No, these are great.
Circle back.
So,
Yeah.
outside of having different tools on them, I think they kick the shit out of Swiss Army knives, or at least Victorinox when it comes to things like the
Edge
Army.
retention.
Well, edge retention. Stainlessness is probably going to be on about on par. Maybe the Vic is going to be a little bit better, but VG10 isn't that difficult to sharpen, so you're not losing out too much on that, and you're getting way better edge retention.
But if we're looking for a simple pocket knife that you're not paying an arm and a leg, you've looked at a Swiss Army, like the single-bladed guy, the Alox one, which I think I have.
I still kind of want one.
It's running the same price. I do have some. It's not there. It's not nice enough to be over there.
Probably true.
Yeah.
The Alox with VG10 red-handled one. Speaking of which, that's red paint, black paint, all sorts of paint.
I think the red is actually anodized, and I think the black is paint. I have a close-up of this trapper to show you here.
Because the black is
I keep
kind
calling
of
it a trapper. It's a
little bit sloppy.
Yes.
A little bit sloppy on the black.
So,
but it's cheap. I don't care.
There's blue under that black on this guy here right here. I'm assuming the red single blade is the same.
You can see it even in that photo there.
Yeah.
Where you can see red on the inside, right? Like they.
Oh yeah.
Even if there's a picture that I saw earlier that's like of the side of it as well, and you can see where the black comes down about halfway down, and then it's red beneath that.
That was probably the spines picture. Where did that go? This guy here? Yeah, I think this is it. Yep. Yeah, you can totally see how the paint comes over. So on the one hand, I can see guys going, yeah, it's paint, but I mean, it's for how cheap this knife is, and for how good everything else about the knife is. I don't know why you're complaining.
Look,
I don't know why you guys are hypothetically complaining. I mean, just cut it out, will you?
You stop it, you hypothetical people.
You just,
But
if
you
you're thinking
know-
about complaining, just get the hell out.
Put
You
some
know that
paint
they
thinner
exist,
on it.
though.
Strip
Actually,
everything off down to the aluminum.
you know, I might. Because
It would look good in all blue.
Yeah, all blue is shit. Even if it takes all the color off and it's just the bare aluminum, I might like that too, honestly.
I'll be honest with you. I kind of like as a knife ages and it chips up, and like I don't want that on a $400 knife for obvious reasons. But on something in this kind of price point, I like seeing its life. It tells a story.
I was gonna say the Narrow's blue coating is gonna.
Oh, we're talking about that now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Let's come back to that later.
$400. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't have any other different pictures to throw up. I think we all kind of really like these knives for what they are, for the dollar value they represent.
And to answer Ben's question, roughly $20 difference between the micarta and the A-locks. The A-locks obviously the much easier to make because it's two pieces of aluminum that they paint and throw on that shit. Yeah. But not much difference between the whole gambit.
I would also go with the micarta myself. Strictly speaking, though, because of the blade shape. That's a super cool blade shape. That'd be very useful. What about you, Dennis? Which one would you go with?
I actually like the blade shape on the draw pointy guy. I mean, you pointing out the fact that it's coming a little closer to the outside of the body when potential sharpening, whatever type of thing might come into play a little bit, but I like the look of the spear pointy guy. The reverse Tanto Apta was the one that I personally like, but the titanium one, I think was a little pricier, and we wanted to start with some of the cheaper options. I think is where that was all going, right? So yeah,
right, yeah.
To be honest, I think you kind of put it in my head, Joe, about the idea of modifying the micarta version.
Mm.
You know, adding a little inlay.
Get some cherry wood, get it all filed down and stained, and There's
don't stain it. Just let it age itself. It's cherry wood.
Stain it a nice mahogany,
and then carry it till it looks like Cocobolo. Wait, no, till the Cocobolo looks like ebony. There you go.
There you go. And it's bog oak, Joe. Your Cocobolo looks like bog oak.
This cherry wood is turning over in its grave right now.
It's got the right density for it. Don't you worry. Negatives. We should. Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Other than messy paint on the aluminum,
little
bit of gapping on the micarta. Little minor gappity gap, but nothing major. Again, they're cheap. Get over it.
Gappity gorp.
Yeah, they come with extra screws. Come on.
Come on.
They come with a pouch.
Cute little pouch.
Yeah.
The pouch
does it have?
Nice.
Does it have a fanny pack belt loop to it?
It doesn't. It is not an MKM, unfortunately.
Which is?
Did you check, Paul? Did you check?
I didn't look.
I
just don't think it does.
I'm fairly confident it doesn't, but
it doesn't. I saw some videos; they don't. But yeah,
I'm gonna contact MKM and see if I can get just one of those pouches.
Hey, my knife doesn't have a pocket clip, so I want to carry it in a big please? Fucking nylon pouch on the side of my belt.
Yeah, scout carry, not the side, the back.
Oh, that's great.
Only if you draw it tip down, reverse grip.
Obviously, that's the only way to take your knife out.
If you're not reverse gripping your slip joint, you're not living. What can I tell you?
Yep.
Oh.
Use that spine for pressure points.
I just want to live, Joe. I just want to live.
Maybe that's asking too much if that's how you want to carry your slip joints. Sorry. What was I gonna say there? Oh, right. As far as one potential downside for me, that's a design thing. It's the blade stock thickness. It's I don't know. It's a little thick. It's a little chunky, and I don't generally mind that with wider blades, giving time for the angle to thin out. But I wish this was 0.1 inch instead of the eighth inch that it actually is. But it does mean though that with a thicker blade stock, you can be a little bit more rough with it. You're not going to be as concerned about damaging it. And realistically speaking, the way guys treat knives that are this cheap, this probably is the smarter way to do it. But
I agree with you. I agree with you across the board. It would have been nice. Especially, I often look to my traditionals as a thin, slicey blade in my pocket. That's kind of its role as far as my EDC would go.
It's the reason I picked this guy up. D2, by the way, and
Nice.
2.5 mil. This thing zips through material like not quite as good as the Staha, but it's close. Not as much time for that edge to taper, but yeah.
All right, that about sums us up. I think we went long tonight compared to what we were trying to aim for last week, but yeah.
Probably true.
Yeah, it's all good. Went a little bit over, but it's not too bad. All right, I guess giving this guy some ratings. This guy, these guys, the lineup.
These guys.
Oh, what kind of rating can I give these? Somebody else go. I'm going to think.
I'm going to rate these knives Suzy Q because I like it the way you walk and I like it the way you attack. Oh, Suzy Q.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you like Suzy Q, get an Apta.
I can't outdo that rating. But I am gonna. How many extra screws does this thing come with?
2. It's body screws, no pivots.
2?
Count the screws on the body. There's 2 of them.
Well,
you get 2, one for each side.
Okay, one for each side. Okay, this gets a 6 out of 4 because it came with 2 extra screws when they would have only given you 4 total other ones. Turner. This is a sweet dollar for value proposition.
It's like a 15 out of 10 for the record.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about my fractions. You worry about my fractions.
I'm worried about the 15 out of 10 comment, but it's
yeah.
Anyway.
Don't be. It's fine. I don't have a rating. I like them.
What do you got? What do you got for us there, Suzy Q? Like it's.
Oh.
I ain't got shit. They're good. Buy them.
Yeah. This is cheap enough, and they're good enough that this is going to be easily recommendable to anyone who doesn't require a lock on their knife.
I thought you were going to go with some sort of rating of, I'm going to give it 4 out of 7 because that's how many of these things I'm going to buy.
Hey!
How's that? Can you want to steal that one? That can be your rating if you want it to be. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think I'm only going to buy 3, but
well, that's not a high enough rating, dude. You got to buy more.
I know.
You could buy another one. Give it to me.
You're gonna buy 5 at least. The way how much you like these things. Come on.
Look, all I know is that my enthusiasm is a 7.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Paul!
Yeah. out of 7 though, because there's 7 models,
actually, right?
So
yes. Hey, hold on. That's like 10 out of 10.
Wait, my enthusiasm's never a 10. Reel it back here.
That's why it's a 7.
I will say though, if you buy 5 of them, then
the 6th one's free.
Well, I was just gonna say, then you can swap the brass and the copper cleaver blades
with each other.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Right?
I can think of a number of reasons why I wouldn't bother.
I will say though, don't swap the cleaver blade with the red aluminum. Because that shit's gross.
You don't like the red aluminum with a cleaver blade?
It looked weird as fuck.
All right, I'll take that under advisement.
That was that square, chisely, Razel-looking blade that they have. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
To be honest, I think if I do a swap, it's going to be micarta and probably copper or brass, and then a shipwreck.
I may buy one and be done with it. We'll see. I like that Wardcliffe blade though. I really like that Wardcliffe blade. Anybody else
No.
got other things to talk about, or is we gonna call it there? Slightly longer review, slightly shorter episode.
Other things to talk about? Oh, I had things. Hang on a sec. I did a shitty job about doing things as well. I want to say, is it up yet? I don't know. Did they make an announcement? I don't even know. Give me a second.
Okay, I'm just gonna close like the 30 tabs I have open of pictures here.
85 tabs.
There's too many goddamn tabs, man. God, that Skaha looks.
Dude, the friggin' chatoyants, bro.
The Chatoyants, as they say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do they?
Nah, I don't
They should say other things.
If that's how they say it, they should stop.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I butchered it.
Can you go to Trade Knives?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Who?
Yeah, that's
Shut
right.
up. That's cool. Trade's good shit, man. They're trying for once. Just to their splash page here.
I don't even know.
I just want to point out that Dick Richards has made his contract obligation of saying rip to Cold Steel, keeping that tradition strong.
Yep. Oh, there's something funky. There's something funky that was in a video about a thing. We could talk about that later. But first, what the hell's going on in the trade, Dennis?
I just want to see if I can find.
I'm sorry, is that an American flag on that knife in the Father's Day banner?
Yes.
Huh. All right.
Dude, Trade. Okay, but we talked about this a while ago. Trade's been making stuff in the States for a little bit again.
Okay, so
They're trying to
if
get
you
bought by GSM.
go
Maybe.
to search and type in Radok, RADOC, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yep.
That's just Radoc.
Stop. You haven't stopped.
Yeah, that's bad.
Well, hello.
So read the things. Read all the things.
Well,
Do it now.
First, I'm reading the price,
Yeah.
and then I saw that pocket clip, and I have more questions.
Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
So read the things.
gotta-
I can't really read them from here.
Sorry, there's moisture flying in here somehow. It's getting on my computer, and I don't know where it's coming from.
You.
Is it raining? Do you have the window open?
I really hope not. No, window's closed. Okay, well, it's... No more is appearing. Okay, sorry. What's going on?
Were you just spitting when you were talking there, or what?
No.
He's
No.
Spitting venom.
Okay, so what am I looking up? What's going on?
Did you look at this knife?
I'm looking at it right now.
Did you see the things that it is made out of?
S35VN and Ultra Glide technology. Yeah.
Ultra Glide. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
it's
Forged
the
carbon
nice
fiber.
lube is just sex lube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just
Pretty
that,
cool.
it's got a pivot lock.
Oh, you mean like this pivot lock? Or do you mean like this pivot lock? Or do you... I hate... That's not a good name for that. That's a terrible name for that.
It locks the pivot.
For the record, the paw lock is the only pivot lock that I'm actually aware of.
Deadbolt?
No,
Because it doesn't actually pivot.
doesn't actually
The things around it. All right. I'm going to challenge you on that one. Maybe the Yanich song.
I think doesn't really... I mean, it's got like
Maybe
a
the
little
Paragon Warlock.
No, that just opens it up and then it...
I'll go on. It's anyway. Yeah, S35, American made, access lock, marbled,
Is that marbled carbon fiber?
No.
Marbled.
It
Marbled?
is forged carbon fiber. Thank you very much.
Burger?
Okay, that might actually be a fat carbon like trademarky thing because I know that they sell a
Uh,
forge.
I don't know because I've seen it sold by other companies in the past. I
Okay,
was trying to source some for myself, and then I realized how fucking expensive it was for me to buy in small batches. Yeah, so that didn't happen. But
is that a milled clip on this thing too? It's
uh-huh.
milled but also hideous.
Yeah, you got a twofer.
Huh? What the hell?
So I understand that Benchmade owns the trademark of Axis Lock, but nobody owns Crossbar Lock, and it's in common vernacular. The fact that it's not being used, stupid. I'm just gonna reiterate that point. It's stupid.
Maybe
Trade's
it
just
is.
following in Kershaw's footsteps. Can we talk about that third screw placement on the pocket clip just for a moment, please? We need to put that back on screen because what the actual hecking heck?
Why did they? Why?
That's what I'm
Why?
saying. You
Why?
could have just had those two and it would have looked fine.
Why?
That would have been a nice clip.
Why? Why did they do it?
But why though?
And they didn't even. Okay, and they won't let me click on it because it automatically changes. But on the front side of the knife, there is a body screw that they sure could have used as one of the pocket clip screws if they had designed it like they gave a shit. Why are you introducing unnecessary screws for this? Come on. And it's not lefty friendly.
Yeah.
On top of everything else.
You're welcome.
So this isn't the first time that Trade's done stuff like this, but it's definitely the fanciest that I've seen out of them. I think it was their Alpha
I'll be honest,
class.
I kind of like the blade shape. I dig it.
Yeah.
So the whole reason I brought it up is like, since when am I supposed to like a fucking Trade?
Yeah.
Like, it's not, that's not a horrendous knife. Now the pocket clip, not great. The fit and finish, we'll see.
Questions abound.
But
This is got to be one of their American made though, no?
yeah,
it is American made. I don't know who the OEM
250.
is.
Yeah.
I want to say potentially Hogue.
How funny would it be if it was Benchmade?
Ooh, that would piss off a lot of people, and that would make me laugh and laugh and laugh. I mean, I don't have any reason to believe this is Hogue, but I'm inclined to believe it is, just given the price point and given that this isn't the first crossbar lock that we've seen OEM'd in the States by.
Yeah.
That's pivot lock, sir.
You understand, Joe, that it locks the pivot, right?
That's the pivot lock folder. That's the.
I hate all these things. They're happening to my ears right now.
That's exactly what it is. You said no, it's not, but you can't escape it, Joe.
That is its name.
It's
Who
like
are you to
modern
deny its
slip
name?
joint. It's
This Entice isn't new. I don't think.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I wish it wasn't an auto.
the Radoc is a thing, and not a terrible looking thing from Trade.
No,
What the holy hell?
I know I just spent a lot of time bitching about that clip, but the handles look nicely contoured. Like,
We'll see. I don't know. What's blade stock thickness?
do they say? Do they give you?
And is it a flat or a hollow? Does it say? Saber.
Well, it's a pivot lock. That much we know for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Blade
It's in
thickness.
the name.
0.125.
Okay, 1/8 inch.
All right.
Saber down, so a little bit chonky.
Yeah, chonk.
4-inch blade.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a chonk. It's contending with cold steel still on sliceability.
Recon.
Yeah, without the hollow. Yeah.
Not sure how I feel about those thumb studs. They look really tall. But maybe
Benchmade had some leftover ones after they discoed the Contigo. So
well, you know.
Are they cones too? Oh shit, yeah, they are kind of tall, aren't they?
they took them from Rook after that horrendous Kermit the Frog knife.
Right. Yeah.
Is that the 671 that we're?
Yeah,
on?
your knife. That's the one.
I will say that knife looks a heck of a lot better with Benchmade thumb studs on it.
With normal thumbs.
Yeah.
Oh, give them here. I'll grind those a little bit for you. There's need to fix
No,
that.
it's fine. It's fine. Somebody was nice enough to give me a replacement set.
All right, I got one more thing before we wrap this up. If you want,
Yeah, let's do it.
go to Spartan Blades.
Spartan Blades USA.
USA.
Yeah. All right.
We love you guys.
Y'all a little crazy sometimes, but we love it.
Okay, go to the search bar.
Okay.
And type in the word K-bar.
Oh. I think I know what this is.
Does Paul know about this?
I don't know if Paul knows. It's a Spartan K-bar. Yeah. You know why I care about this?
It's a Spark bar.
Is it
I know
kill
why
the
you
bar?
care. No. Look at the price on it. $3.35 American. Bam, son.
What's it made of?
Well, see, that's why I care, and I thought it would be a close-up, but I just got to scroll down.
That's why I brought it up.
CPM Magna Cut.
It's the Magma Cut K-bar.
At 61 to 63. So, a weird range, but...
That's harder than this.
Well, it might be.
Potentially, yeah.
I think that's cool as shit. And I kind of
In a desert tan. Like, kind of, yeah. And as far as a service knife, again, Magna Cut.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool.
So anyway, yeah.
Spartan has announced a couple of fixed blades over the last couple of years where it's like, oh, I don't give a shit about fixed blades generally, but I want to now because of these. They had
it appears that this thing even comes with a sheath too, so like at least you're getting that. It's not a Boosie.
Yeah. It's not.
Oh, Boosie doesn't use Magna Cut. Come on.
Exactly.
They use Infi, which
what's the other one? The Raider dagger. I love that.
Is the Raider dagger also Magma Cut?
No. What was it? SK5.
That's bullshit.
But it's SK5
Wait.
58 to 60, and it's SK5 for 150.
I like SK5. I'm just harping on it.
I know. But I think this is cool. Oh man, I shouldn't like what they're doing as much as I do. Yeah, I'm trying to zoom in and it won't let me.
It's out of stock. Stop looking at it, Joe.
Pretty much.
That's only $150.
Yeah, 150 American, but still.
Yeah.
It looks like it. So what I find funny, it's SK5. It's as cheap as it is, and if you look at that sheath, I think we've talked about this on stream before, but that's a pretty familiar looking sheath.
That's a cold steel sheath right there.
That's a cold steel. And they're using the exact same OEM, but I have absolutely no problems with that.
But it's gonna dull my dagger.
Good, it'll make it hurt more.
It's gonna say too bad.
It's gonna make my dagger hurt more.
When I drop it, it goes into my foot.
Ow, my foot.
Anyway, Spartan K-bar with frickin' Magna Cut.
Magma Cut.
Magma.
Cool as heck.
You know, if I was in the market for a K-bar, that might be the one. I think that's probably the right choice.
Anyone who is any sort of service-oriented blah-blah-blah thing going on, I don't know if it would be my first choice for a camp knife. Because a K-bar is not my first choice for a camp knife, but I mean, it's Joe's first choice for a work knife, so what the hell? He works retail. Why wouldn't he? So.
Oh, yeah, work retail.
What about it?
This is the knife that's usually on my hip at the shop. And for the record, it's SK5, and I freaking love it. It's been my camp knife for many years now. It's wonderful.
Camp knife?
Camp knife.
Is he camping out back now? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Shoo him away like everyone else off the back of the steps. Yeah.
Crap, they found out. That's all, folks. Time to go. Paul,
Yeah, I
you've
always
got-
thought Paul had the fake background. I didn't realize. Just
See, he gets you by having it be such a mundane background you don't realize.
yeah, it's just all cardboard boxes.
I'm in Windows 2003 hell.
Yeah.
Or heaven, you know. You do
Joe's
you.
just hiding shelf 36 through 38.
Oh yeah,
His
like
background.
living in the Walmart. Heck yeah.
All right, gentlemen, that's all I got for you.
It's all
Anyone
folks.
else?
Paul, you got anything, or is that it? Is that all?
To be honest, I think the thing that I have is going to go too long.
Okay.
No.
That's
Is it Blade Show oriented?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
I mean, I'm
it's-
curious now.
It's a like an entire website more than it is a single thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is it if it's Daz gear again? I swear to God.
No, I think it's probably something I'm familiar with too.
It's Camel Knives, you know?
What's that?
Nothing. Dav
I'm
gear.
talking about
It's a
nothing.
field in the middle of Iowa.
I can't
There you
remember. Yeah, there's a.
Well, you don't know if it's Ohio or Iowa. That's how they keep on your toes, right? So,
It's all coming together.
and not keeping you on your toes. They just keep on your toes.
Not sure how to parse that, so I won't.
Indeed.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's it then, guys.
Good times. Go buy some Rough Riders. Yeah.
Sold one this weekend, actually.
Not that one though. It's already gone. Go buy other ones. Go potentially buy them from the Cutting Edge Cutlery Co. because they got some. Thank you for bringing a couple of those in so we could play with. They're super cool for the VG10 modern slip joint offerings.
Bang for your buck. They're pretty badass.
They are both currently in stock on the website. Who knows how long that's gonna last? Get them while the getting's good. We'll probably keep bringing them back in. They're excellent dollar for value.
Absolutely.
More people thank people.
Oh,
God
yeah.
damn it.
All right. Thank you for following us on Instagram. It's getting weird at this point.
It's getting weird.
But I appreciate you.
Paul is really doing a lot of reaching out through the DMs. I'm sure it's the behind the scenes you don't know about. It's
Just look, guys, just stay. Just stay.
just stay.
Who knows? There might be things popping up in stories here in the not terribly different, distant future.
It may be a different
The
future.
different future. It's probably
Yeah,
different.
it's look, we're already in the different future. Let's be honest here.
Too real. Too real. But
It's
that's
a good
okay.
time. It's a good time. Thank you to everyone who continues to follow us on Patreon and subscribe to us. Eventually, Christmas 2023 is going to be a thing, and we have to do things about that.
Like 6 months away.
Well, but yes, everything you've given towards us is just giving it back to you guys as a thank you. Continue to appreciate your patronage and have fun enjoying doing this week in and week out. Sometimes it's a week out, but yeah.
Yeah. But usually it's a weekend.
Well,
Speaking of, we will be here next weekend, right?
yeah, I think so.
I thought
If we
so.
can make our way out of the woods,
I was gonna say, you guys gonna make me do a one-man show? Because I'm not doing a one-man show.
well, might be running away to the woods, so might have to make it back in time and be a sore lazy bastard in front of the camera for a couple hours. It'll be fun.
Yeah. High energy.
Just
You're
comatose.
So yeah.
I'll be actively weeping during stream about my lost Skaha.
Yeah, we're making that prediction now, huh?
Excuse me, lost and broken. Thank you very much.
I've got this great mental image of Dennis just mid-swing with a big old stick, Skaha splintered into the breeze.
I'm going to be honest, what I pictured in my head was him batoning with it, breaking it, laughing as he throws it into the woods.
Oh, River. Dude.
Oh, there you go.
Like, come on. You're throwing it the wrong way.
Oh. Let's see how rust-proof this Magna Cut really is.
It's
Oh,
hard to
Ow.
find 3 pieces. Anyway,
Oh.
good times. Good
On that
times.
sad note.
indeed. Justin is predicting Christmas 2033 for our giveaway.
Oh god.
I like his timeline. It gives us a lot more opportunity.
We're not even doing a giveaway. That's a misnomer.
Mm.
We're just giving some shit to some people on a extremely procrastinated deadline. It's
True facts. Yeah, on that note.
giveaways haven't happened in a while. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, true facts.
Got a backlog of them. Yeah. See.
Mm.
All right, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. We will be back here again next week with something to talk about. Oh yeah, Blade Show. That happened this weekend. We'll probably talk about some Blade Show shit. So, yeah,
Be a good
cool.
time.
Cheers to that.
All right, we will see you back here again next week, 7:15 Mountain Standard Time. Something. Yeah, that
That's
sounds
standard. Yeah.
right.
That,
Awesome. Have a great night, guys. I am who I am. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I am Baron Joe.
And I'm XL.ca.
The moisture has not returned. Hopefully you all have a good night as well. Take care.
Oh, Susie Q. Oh, Susie Q.